Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all a Cardfight Vanguard Overdress Awakening of Chakrabarthi set breakdown. I opened a complete case a couple days ago on the channel of Awakening of Chakrabarthi, and I figured I'd just bring you all a breakdown of all the card ratios I got from the box, just to make it a little easier to determine some of the numbers you will get from some of the boxes in the set. It's a really big set with a total of 15 triple rares, 15 double rares, and then 30 types of rares and 60 types of commons. I won't be going over the full numbers of the rares and commons. It just seems so immense, and I think people are more interested in the actual foil numbers and some of the more important rares in the set. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We'll start off with the, actually before you even open up any of the packs, the box toppers. So you had 6 different types of box toppers in the set. You had the Bruce sleeve, the Magnolia sleeve, the Seraph Snow sleeve, along with the Bastion, Nirvana, and also the Trick Moon sleeve. You had one of these 6 possible, sleeves to pull, each one coming with 4 sleeves in the actual box. But as for a case, you get 20 boxes in total for the case, and with those numbers we had some pretty varying ratios. I'm guessing the odds will differ, but you do get a good number for all the different sleeves, not really one being one-sided compared to the other. We had 3 of the Bruce sleeves for the first of the 3 ofs, because there were a couple that only had 3, with Bruce being the first. Trick Moon also had only 3, and then the last one being Nirvana, sharing 3 in the spots, with the rest of the sleeves covering the 4 of positions. So we had 4 of the option, actually, nope, there were only 4 of for the Magnolia and 4 of for the Seraph, with the last one being 3 also for the Bastion. So you had a 12 number count total with the 4 cards here, and then 4 Magnolia and 4 Seraph Snow. So that's what mostly keeps it, as I would say, an equal numbered ratio for the sleeves there. As for some of the higher ratios in the set, with the set being a bigger Vanguard set, 15 triple rares in total, we had some pretty low numbers. That's what I'll assume will keep some of the values for some of these triple rares a little higher. With going in order, Virina Esperata, we had 6 of the triple rares from the case for this card. The next one being our Nirvana Mahar. That one was a 5 of count. So the ratios stayed in between, I would say, the 5 and 6 count for all of the triples in the set, which is insane, because if you were to want to build the same deck as someone else you split a case with, you definitely wouldn't be able to accomplish this with one case alone. And where I would say buying singles was definitely the better route to go, because we also only had 5 of the Trick Moons for the Dragon Empire spots. For the Dark States, we had 5 Bruce, so sticking to those numbers with the Dark States. We also had a number of 5 for the Bubetsu for Greedon, and then the last Dark State spots was the Brainwash Swirler at another 5 of count. For the Brontgate, we stuck to the 5 count with the Aurora Fierce Princess, Seraph Pure Light. One of the higher ratios was the 6 of count for Masareya for this spot. And then lastly, for the final Brantgate spot, we had 5 of the Gravidia Bakubirito. For the Keter Sanctuary, sticking to a higher number, at least for one of the grade 4s, which is what I wanted to see, we pulled 6 Bastion. I like seeing more of the grade 4s because I fear they're better for the actual trade bait in the set. And we also had 5 of the Kornvok. I feel like this will definitely be just ratios all over the place. You either get 5 or 6, maybe a rare case of a lower number there, with another 5 spot being the Lalarita triple rare. For the Stoicheia being the final spot, we actually had 6 Magnolia. Once again, another nice pull there for sure. And 5 of the Pulse Dragon. Another scenario where, like, if you wanted to build Magnolia and also Flagberg, this is a good card for both of the decks, and then only having 5 copies makes it very difficult to determine what you may have wanted to pull. And lastly, the final triple rare being 6 of the Roaming Prison Dragon. The next spot up in line for our foils are the double rares. The double rares were actually pretty consistent for the same amount of numbers for a good amount of them, with them sticking to around the 8 number range. So we had 8 of the Adarla for the Dragon Empire spot, and we had the same numbers, I would say pretty similar, with the Travis numbers. And that really stuck with the good majority of the double rares, having 8 number counts for all of the spots. Maybe the rare scenario of a 9, but I really didn't see any take that spot. They all just really stuck to the 8 ratio. So even with a 15 number count of double rares, all of these cards held that number spot for it, which I would say is pretty consistent. That's a play set of each. So if you were looking for double rares, the only problem is double rares aren't really part of the big value for a case. That'll stick to your triple rares and your SPs. But like I said, we had a pretty even ratio of that, maybe like 7, 8, or 9 for them. And then the next spot, which I still haven't gotten around to organizing, were the holo rares. I at least pulled one of each of the holo rares, with some exceptions for a lot of doubles. I'll just have to organize these again and see what I have for the playset. Some were lower numbers, like the Retsuji, but some of them were pretty high, like the Oh Evil Heart, pulling playsets of those alone from one case. And then for the next numbered ratio, the final spots in the entire set are the draw triggers. With the draw triggers, I actually pulled a pretty high number count. So for the Dragon Empire, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And this was the average ratio for draws for each one of the nations, either 12 or 13 for each one. So very, very happy with those results. That's at least 3 play sets for the draw triggers from one case. So with that, all 3 different decks that you can build for a good majority of the decks, at least, we're given play sets for all the trigger counts there. And with the final spot being for, there was actually the world premiere card, which I actually missed a couple throughout the video, but you do pull 4 of this card from one case, it looks like. So a playset for Stoicheia, very nice there. For the SPs, there was a varying ratio. I didn't pull any doubles for the SPs. I don't know if that's possible or not from a case, but I did pull ones that I was pretty happy to pull. Just a lot of good numbers for that as well. They'll all be going into a sleeved up binder right after this video. I just wanted to show all the different numbers for the ones that I pulled. 2 draw triggers and a good ratio of 4s, and just added additional support as well. But as for the ratios, I'm glad with it. I really don't regret the case. I know that the ratios for a DSR are definitely higher up. That's why those are experiencing some pretty high value. But all in all, will I invest in a case again? I guess it depends on just what the set looks like. I wanted to invest in Awakening of Chakrabarthi because it was definitely a good set with all these grade 4s and additional support for each and every deck for Overdress format. And I hope you all enjoyed the set breakdown video. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Qualia out.